Do you know anything about the French painter from the 19th century by the name of Toulouse-Lautrec? Well, supposedly he died because he drank too much absinthe. Let me tell you a little about this brilliant painter, illustrator, draftsman, and social critic who was born in 1864 and died 37 short years later in 1901. Toulouse-Lautrec was the son of a count and countess who incidentally were first cousins, and both of his grandmothers were sisters, which means that old René, I think that was his first name, René Toulouse-Lautrec, was a poor inbred son of nobility. Yeah, he was inbred, and when he was 13, he broke one of his femurs. When he was 14, he broke another femur, which crippled him for most of his life. Probably to deal with the pain, he drank an awful lot of alcohol, and I don't know if it was the alcohol that killed him at the ripe young age of 37, but he is, if you ask somebody about absinthe, everyone will say, well, that's the stuff that killed Toulouse-Lautrec, he was inbred, just like all my cousins and my brother, and I'm my own grandpa. Hey, to be fair, most inbreeding in the United States is not happening in hillbilly country. It's actually happening in America's inner cities, but that's another discussion. Yeah, when you don't keep track of who daddy is, it's pretty tough not to have sex with a cousin or a half-sister, and, you end up with babies that are wall-eyed and stuff. Anyway, that was Toulouse-Lautrec's problem. It is not mine. I'd like to dispel a couple of myths about the liqueur absinthe. No, it does not contain opium. There may have been versions in the past which did, but I could find no documentation about that in my casual research on the internet. But it is supposed to be hallucinogenic. No, it's not. It's not hallucinogenic because wormwood, which has the genus and species Artemisa absinthum. Wormwood is supposed to be hallucinogenic and probably is in a high enough dosage, but not in the liquor. Are you with me so far? One thing I will tell you about absinthe, it is an anise flavored liqueur, not anus. Cut it out. It's an anise flavored liqueur. It can either be clear, might be green. It comes in 4 different quality levels, which are incidentally the amount of grain alcohol or proof. So ordinaire, which is the weakest, is still 47% grain alcohol or 94 proof. That's really high. All the way up to a whopping 97% or 194 proof. That's some strong booze at the highest level. So you could see where somebody like Toulouse-Lautrec could have drunk himself to death on it. But we're not here to talk about liquor, hallucination, inbreeding, or anything else, although I may be a victim of all of those. But we're going to talk about this one from TokeSnuff.com. This is Toke's Absinthe. Now, there are a lot of anise-scented snuffs out there, including Dr. Rumney's Green, which I really like. There is quite a bit of anise in Purcell's Löwenbräu, McChrystal's Stargazer, star anise, so therefore Stargazer, is another excellent anise-scented snuff. But this one is from Toke. It is Toke Absinthe. Let us take a sniff in the tin. Yeah, I smell anise. And a little bit of the base tobacco. It is incredibly moist in the tin. Almost, I think, to the point where I can tip it if I pack it down enough. So I will pack it down tight in the tin and tilt the tin so you can see the color. Really have to shove on this. It's not as moist as some other Tokes that I've reviewed. So let's take a look. There it is. I don't know if you can see the color of that. That is the color of the snuff. I probably dumped just a load of it all over my desk here. And let us take a pinch. Now, I myself have had anise on 2 different occasions. Not anise, I'm sorry, absinthe on a couple of different occasions. Most recently when I was down in Costa Rica at a Cuban cigar bar that was selling the stuff for like $18 a shot because it's mythical. You know, oh, you'll trip balls if you drink absinthe. You're going to trip balls. No, you're not. You might get shit-faced drunk pretty quickly, but you're not going to trip on it. You're not going to see fancy colors or whatever. So I have had absinthe, and I know what it smells like. So let's see how this stacks up. Yeah, very nice grind, as always, with Toque. Nice moisture. Should be fairly easy to take. Cheers. And remember, absinthe and anise are a different aroma from licorice. If you're thinking this is going to be black licorice, yeah, there's something reminiscent about it. But I would remind you that black licorice is made from the root of the plant, and anise is made from the seeds of a different plant. So they do smell a little different. So here we go. It's marvelous. Absolutely wonderful. It captures not only the anise, but there are, I would swear, other botanicals in this. Maybe even a little wormwood. Now, Roderick is not going to tell you if he puts actual wormwood in this. Not that it would be illegal to do so. But I suspect there's also a little bit of fennel, which is part of the original absinthe recipe, as well as green anise. That accounts for the green color, along with the wormwood. This is a step above other anise snuffs. It is slightly different in aroma from my favorite anise scented snuff, which is McChrystal Stargazer. This is good. Nicotine on this, just from a little apple seed sized pinch. Mid-range. Again, I don't expect a lot of nicotine from this. This one is about the aroma, and it is amazing. It is delicious. On the squinty scale, where 1 is disgusting and 5 is delicieux, this is definitely a 5, and it is one you should have in your snuff cabinet. Is this an all-day, everyday snuff for me? No, it certainly wouldn't be. But when I crave the scent of anise with a little something extra, I'm going to go for this. If I cannot get the Stargazer, this would be my favorite replacement for that. If I wanted a pure anise, again, this is not a pure anise. There's something else here. Löwenbräu is anise, but with menthol and a few other things. This contains no menthol. Ease of sniffing on this, for me, is quite easy. It would be a decent beginner snuff. I think more than other Toque snuffs, this one is going to have an aroma that persists a while longer than many Toque snuffs do. I absolutely love this. From the dank basement with, yes, the absinthe, Toulouse-Lautrec, may he rest in peace, that inbred French guy. Have a wonderful day. Get some Toque absinthe. I got this at retail price from ToqueSnuff.com. We will sniff some more of the absinthe and look at the paintings of Toulouse-Lautrec. He probably was doing a bunch of coke and opium and stuff because all that stuff was legal back then, too. I'm going to drink some absinthe, and then I'm going to hobble back to my studio, and I'm going to paint a picture of a naked lady doing cocaine. See you later. C'est bon. It's delicious, c'est bon. I really like it, c'est bon. Toulouse-Lautrec is dead.